to it as soon as Malcolm joins. I think what Malcolm should do is try to request to join again. It will be easy. Yeah, and you know, yeah, let's get into it. And everybody, I just want to tell you, I'm so excited because the semifinals and quarterfinals, they were they were great. You know, they were great and incredible. And we're waiting for the finals. And of course, you tell us what you expect. We'll tell you what we think is gonna happen. Malcolm, please, can you request to join again? I know you've sent your request, but technically the technical issues are still happening. But don't worry, can you just request again? We'll be able to get you in. Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited, guys. It was a blast. Yeah, and like when you watch the previous games, there was a difference between the semifinals and quarterfinals compared to the games that started before that. Please, Malcolm, can you request right now, please? We're waiting for you to request. We're waiting for you to request. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Why does this always happen? When I try to get you in, but really takes time. Let's go,
Yo,
Malcolm. Please request again.
it's not working. It's saying your request wasn't sent. It's having problems. Send
I
request.
cannot hear you. Yeah, I cannot hear you if you're speaking. You gotta request again. That's the only way we can do it. But yeah, please request, Request, request. People,
It's not
people need
working.
to. Yeah.
See,
Can you cancel and then request again? You can cancel and
you see that
request
thing
again.
down? You see that thing
Yeah, you
down?
can cancel and request again.
See,
Let's go. Let's go. He is requesting to join.
you see that thing down? Your request wasn't sent.
What did they tell you?
Your request is not sent.
Uh,
What could be the problem? Yeah,
yeah,
this
it's
is better.
taking a little bit of
You
time.
requesting me is better.
Just a second. It looks like you in. It looks like you in right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it looks like you in. Yes, but I can't see you. I need to
That's
see you.
myself. Who is myself, bro?
I'm trying to see you, but I can't see you.
Oh, okay,
Exactly.
okay,
That's what I'm
okay,
talking about.
okay.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
get
Yeah.
it.
Welcome back, man. How you doing today?
Can you hear me, Propsy?
Very much, man. I can hear you so well.
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? It was as we talked about, it was a very amazing day for semifinals and other watches of Olympics like for track and field. It was an amazing day. It was beautiful and it's yet to get even better because we're bringing you one of the best podcasts ever, of analysis of the semifinals and pre-analysis of the finals, not just for the men, for the women. And it essentially ends today as well. But Claret, take us out today.
Yes, everybody. Yeah, we are your hosts on the game today. I am Claret. He is Malcolm once again for the introduction. And today we're going to be diving deep into what happened in a couple games that we saw in the semifinals. USA versus Serbia. And we had Canada versus France, and then Canada versus German. And now we have our final teams that are going to play the finals, which are France versus USA. But we're going to break down those games that I just mentioned right just previously, and we're going to look at things that happened, whether it be game stats analysis or just reaction to a couple plays that we might have been able to see. Uh, so yeah, Malcolm, I'm gonna start this with a very interesting question for me, right? You watched France versus US versus Canada, right?
Yeah, it
And
is.
I just want you to tell me the feeling of seeing the physicality, right? The
Mm,
physicality we saw. in those games, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Before you know the in the showcase games, when I saw showcase games, the friendly games before the Olympics, I was seeing a sort of like physicality, and we talked about this because we were saying how in the All-Star games there's no physicality, but in the friendlies to the Olympics there's a lot of physicality, and I expected it to be just even more during the Olympics because it's a one game all, so it's win or go home, and I saw how these games are physical. I mean, everyone was playing so well. Like Germany didn't come out well. And the thing with Germany is that they always trust themselves to like they back themselves up to always come back and to always dominate. But today France said whatever is happening, we're going to keep on dominating. And they were physical, they're rotating, they put big men on a lot of people, they were switching a lot. They're putting mismatches. Wemby was playing well. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he made a couple of, dagger threes and dagger points. Gobert Gobert has barely played the past two games. He plays like 5 minutes and then he sits until the fourth quarter. This time he didn't even play the fourth quarter. I mean, but let me go right into it. In France, last game in the France game, it was even funnier who played so well. Today it was their bigs. The things that I don't know their name, but let me get their names real quick. I know them. Yeah, Yabusele. Kitina also played well. There's this guy called Lesort as well. Lesot and Yabusele were the ones who are lights out today for the French team. Lesot had 13 points and 5 rebounds. Codinier as well, who had 20 points as well. Yeah, that was the name I was trying to remember. And Yabusele had 22 points. He was big time. Wembanyama had 12 rebounds, 10 of them being defensive rebounds. So he was really guarding his paint. And he had only 7 points, but he had two big threes right down the fourth quarter, even Kitilina. So I feel like no Ntilikina, yeah, rather the guy in the NBA. So I feel like France generally played well as a full team compared to they were more fluid today compared to how they were. They won last game against Canada, but no against Canada, and then today was against Germany, right? So I feel like they actually played well and they deserve to win. I mean, the whole time Germany was just trying to come back with there was a play at the end of the day where at the end of the time when this guy called Ismail Bonga wanted to come in because he's a better 3 point shooter, but they didn't allow him, and then I was like maybe they fumbled that, but honestly, even though he came in or didn't come in, I felt like France was always gonna win this game from like the second half because in the first half they were actually the ones losing, they were trailing. In the second half, when they came back, I really saw them set that full dominance. Actually, correction, I was reading the box score of Canada versus France, which was the quarterfinals. Semifinals, it was Codinia who played well as well, 16 points. Yabusele as well, 17 points. Mwembanyama, 11 points. So you can see all of them are in double digits. Nicolas Batum, 9 points. Lesot as well, he was big, 10 points, 4 rebounds as well. So I really saw them come up, and they're also hitting free throws as well. Because Lesot, Codinia, Yabusele, they are big men, but they're also hitting their free throws. And then Germany was sort of messing up free throws, very uncharacteristic. You saw when even Jenny Schroeder, who had like clutch free throws, I think it was a gap of four. And if he made those two, it would have been a 2 point game. But he missed one. He missed the first, and it was like 3 points. And now again, these guys come back. They keep the ball, run down the clock, and they have to foul. They make their free throws. It's a two-possession game. So by that time it was done. But they sort of stringed up a fight to like make it interesting when there was 1 minute left. But really, when I saw that those dagger threes, like when there was 1:30 left, I knew that France is going to win it. And no one expected them to win. Others did, but the majority was betting on a German-US final. But Germany did manage to make it through. But France played well. Let's admit both teams that played well in the semifinals, both USA and Germany. Sorry, both USA and France. They played so well. They played so well. They deserved it. And good luck to France in a gold medal match. But yeah, what do you think about it?
I mean, man, talk to me like I had the most amazing and incredible. Let's talk about Lesot. Yeah,
Yeah, the sorts. It was big
I will
today.
not try to pronounce his name in French, but he was incredible in both games. Right, he comes
Yeah.
out right. In FIBA there is the rule of there is no 3 second
There's no three
violation,
second rule,
right?
yes.
So he will sit down there, go to the post, blah blah blah. And one thing I loved about France is that they know the talent they have, and they respect each other's game, right? when Lazard or uh, Wemby are posting up, right? There was some space between each other, right? They know when to go. They know when, right? And then Fournier,
Even
he
funny.
is. I don't know why they don't play him at point guard. I feel like he has such a good feel as a point guard, right, in the NBA. But
Yeah.
let that for another topic.
Today was on the bench, but he played 20 minutes.
I mean, I don't even care, man, how many he played, but he was so good, right? And then I know many people and Draymond Green went on this, and he was all over the internet saying that it is his first time to see an NBA guy who doesn't play on an Olympic team as a starter, blah blah blah. But I have to recognize the efforts by both the coach of the French team and also Rudy Gobert, because he agreed to sit for as
Yeah.
long as he sat
He
just
played
to
only
get the
five
pick.
minutes. Oh,
And
he
if
only
you
played
think
5 minutes.
about it in a way, the matchups just don't allow his freedom to play, right? So
Yeah.
I thought France was incredible, was amazing. And as much as they've been showing some fight, I feel like they will be a little bit small against USA, but let's not go there already. But also, one thing that people need to look at is their pace, right? They get to
Yeah.
a point where they're just going fast pace, fast pace, fast pace, right? And then when Banyama, right, I think 10 rebounds, right? I'm not gonna talk about points because really even other guys scored, but those rebounds were so crucial at the end of the game, whether it be versus German or versus right versus Canada, right? Just going up all the time when you shoot, goes up, grabs the ball. Of course, nobody's gonna contest, right? So I feel like France has been playing well. And my question again to you is, what do you think about the crowd of France, right? What do you
Oh,
think? How
it was
good have
amazing.
they been for this French team? For them to
Yeah, the atmosphere was amazing. In fact, one of the reasons France was actually like in top three favorites was because of the atmosphere and home advantage. Because they were not really going to be in the top three because it was going to be USA, Canada, Germany. But because of their crowd and the home advantage, these guys are amazing. I mean, the crowd is making noise every time they steal. Not only when they make a point or when they make a block or a turnover, but every single deflection, every single play that causes a timeout, any single momentum, the crowd is cheering on their feet, lighting up the roof. They're playing songs and they're like singing during timeouts and like celebrating. Like they were so confident today that they deserve to win. But the crowd were amazing, and I think it's the same arena that actually plays for the US as well, because I was seeing like the coaches and the players doing like the 2 minutes left around there, they're showing like the camera on them. So I think you pay a ticket for like the full day, so you don't have to leave the arena. So that's why like even the USA game, like it was sort of like a sold out arena, because the fans who wanted to stay could stay, because they couldn't chase all of them because the game was almost immediate. So I think, because I know US. I know tennis courts do it, like tennis arenas, whereby if there's two overlapping games in the same course, you only buy the ticket for that day. You don't have to buy two tickets. So that's why. But even you could see the USA game, they were amazing. I mean, there were even US fans today. I felt like there were a lot of US fans today. The noise was crazy, not just from the French fans, even from the away fans. Yes, Germany had a couple of plays, but you couldn't feel any sort of anxiousness in them. They were always. I mean, there was a point when Germany, actually it was fourth quarter, because they won the fourth quarter, 1917. So there was a point when they were coming back a little. I mean, France was ahead by 12 at one point, then it went down to five. It was there. But you never felt like Germany is going to come and overtake them because of the crowd. If the crowd are not there, you could maybe feel the nerves, but the crowd they're absolutely good today. And speaking of Gobert's points, he played 5 minutes today, 0 for 1 from the free throw, 0 for 0 3 points, 0 for 0 0 for 1 field goal shooting. They say he's a defensive liability, which is true, because he had zero offensive rebounds, one defensive rebound, zero assists, zero steals, zero blocks, 0 points. So like they know they don't play him anymore. I don't know why, but maybe in the US game he will play because he's big, but maybe they feel like he's too much of an offensive liability, that even his defense, they don't feel like it gives them a lot. It impacts them a lot. They feel like another player can do it on defense, and they don't really need him. But you can see how much they value Wemby played the most minutes, 32 minutes, tied with Cordinia. So about this Gobert thing, we'll get to see, because at first we all thought Gobert and Wemby are like those two pivot guys who they rely on, but it seems like Wemby is more of the most trusted guy. I don't know, maybe of what happened. This is the history of what Luka did to him. Maybe derated him because he was so overhyped, defensive player of the year. But what Luka did to him showed other players that this guy is a liability. So maybe it's concerning that as well. Maybe it's a little bit of that, but I definitely think there's something going on. I mean, not only did he just play 5 minutes this game, but even the Canada game. Let me just check real quick how many minutes he played. There were very few. Like he barely came in the second. Okay, I got it here. So when we had 27 minutes, Gobert had 3 minutes, 0 for 0, everything as well. So I don't know, but back to your question about the crowd, they're absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
No, but I agree with the whole Gobert thing. When you listen to the post-game interviews, right, after the Canadian game, the first time they benched him, right, the coach came out and said the reason why we benched him is because we felt like the matchups went really for him, right? And I agree with the coach. But then Rudy Gobert comes out and says, I had the hand surgery, right? So that could be the reason, but we don't know who to actually trust or listen to. Is it the coach's comment or Gobert's comment that he had a hand surgery, right? But regardless, right? Regardless, how can you not trust Wembanyama? This man can guard perimeter guys, right? Steph
Yeah.
Curry like. And like just his presence, the ground he covers, right, is what makes him to be trustable regardless of the game or the matchup, right? But you know what? Thank you, Canada, for participating in the Olympics. Thank you to German, right? It's been a good ride. We thank you. You've been the gold medalist and the bronze last year. Great, right? But now let's focus on the big dogs, right?
The big dogs,
Who
USA.
came in gun blazing, but then turned down and then came back a little bit, and then that's when we started saying, okay, we've seen the future. They
Yeah,
might become too much for France. But
this was finish up.
let's talk about USA versus
Serbia.
Serbia, right?
Yeah.
I I thought, right, this is me in the third quarter. I thought Serbia won the game. Like I was like, USA, I don't know. Somebody
the,
called track. He's about to send back this team to wherever they were playing from, right? But then all of a sudden KD happens, all of a sudden LeBron happens, all of a sudden Steph happens, all of a sudden whoever,
yes,
everybody happens, and now they win, right? But talk about what you felt and what you saw in that game.
Oh, this game was absolutely amazing. It was US's closest game in terms of end to end, like and the score. But it was definitely there. Shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, wait. I think the Wi-Fi is messing up a little bit.
Keep going and then fix them as you speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I was saying, just give a little bit of that analysis on what I saw. So I saw a team. I saw a team that I like today. A team that can defend when it really matters. A team that is there for each other. Because earlier on they were saying the media, the pundits, the critics, they were saying that Germany, Canada, France, these guys have been with each other since like they were 4 years old, so they know each other, they know where to play the ball. And it's true because this USA team has not been with each other for more than 1 month. So
no one knows where like Jason Tatum, he only knows Derrick White and Drew Holiday. He doesn't know where Steph Curry's runs are, which is actually true. But today I saw that didn't matter, even if they are. I feel like this team, even if they were there for only 1 week, they could have won Serbia because the way they showed the grit. And let's just give props to, you talked about the big three, the old guys, the veterans, the team, KD, LeBron, and Steph. Without these guys, USA does not win this game because Serbia was absolutely amazing. We talked about how USA needs to improve their three-point shooting. We talked about how they were very good against Brazil with 48.4% shooting. Today, they shot very well the ball, especially from Steph Curry, who will dive into later. But Serbia was absolutely brilliant. Bogdanovic, Nikola Jokic and Nikola Jovic, then Abramovich, and this guy also, I forgot the name, it starts with a D, but the guy who shows with his left hand from Serbia.
I don't know how to pronounce his name either. Yeah, he was
very good as well, and I feel like Serbia, any other day, any other team, they would have beaten it, but because USA has, we talked about LeBron's, the experience of LeBron, the shooting of Steph Curry, the mid-range, the leadership of Kevin Durant. There's no way USA is losing, not just because of the players, but because of how they faced adversity. I mean, you look at the first quarter, Serbia came, every time USA made a 3 points, these guys come back and make a 3. Every time LeBron was not really on fire in the first quarter. It was really about Steph Curry, both first and second quarters. But now it's the second half when LeBron, KD came in as a sub, stepped up. Embiid, who we shall dive into, stepped up as well. The bench really helped them on the defense. No bench player really had enough points, but they were really helping them on the defense. Derrick White, as usual, with these steals from nowhere. But the US today, they were down at 1 point 17. So they kept on, being close. And that's why third quarter, when they came into the third quarter with, what was the buffer, the gap, was it 15 or?
There was 15. It was 15.
Because around there, people were like, it's almost done. And you could hear like the noise.
I thought the same thing. I was like, USA is going home. Yeah. I was like, come on now.
Because you could hear the noise in the arena, like fans, like since the USA, it's over for US. Because obviously France is gonna want Serbia than the US, even though they have no pitch. So you could feel it. You could feel that US is going home. But I told my bro right here, now USA is winning this game. USA is winning this game because I knew that USA was going to come back and figure it out. And oh my God, I've not seen USA play this good defense, especially in the second half. AD, absolutely wonderful, block to block. There was the one of LeBron. There were a couple of plays that. Let's talk about on a more subjective, on a more objective analysis, qualitative analysis part. We talked about how Serbia are shooting threes very well. There were 15 of 30 in the first half. That's a half, 50%. And then they came back second half 0 for 9. So 0% in the second half. So you can see how much they dropped in the 3-point shooting because there were a barrage in the first half, shooting after shooting. And I know Steph Curry, even without Steph Curry, we don't win this game as well. Because that's why you need 3-point shooters. You need 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Yes, you may have guys like Tatum who can drive when it's adversity, when it's down 20. You may have those guys, the LeBrons, those guys, jumpers. But you need people like Steph Curry, Shannon, from this half. So always very away from New York.
Shout out Shannon, shout out Dara, everybody.
But you need people like Steph to keep in the game because of the 3-point shooting. And you saw how we were praying for this game. We were praying for this game of we knew among the 6 games there was going to be at least one game Steph Curry would come and shoot lights out. And it's like he chose this game. He chose this game to come and shoot lights out because he started when he was like 4 for 4 and he was like shooting anywhere and he was just on fire. You just see that 3-pointer when he was in the corner, the left-hand corner, and then he shot it and then he faced the bench. And then I was like, and I was like,
bro, cold. That was cold, man.
And I liked him for that because he was one of the us in the game and was able, him and LeBron were really the ones who stepped up today. Screw all the Anthony Edwards stuff, screw all the Devin Booker's. The big men also stepped up for the team, and especially Embiid. It was not really KD today.
So technically, I will not say it wasn't KD because KD didn't play as much. But when he came in the third quarter, right, all his points were needed, right? Like he shoots a 3, but it's like momentum 3, like it carries the momentum going forward, right? So I will still give credits to KD because he actually gave us some push at the end right there.
Yeah, and KD, he was good, but let's talk about Embiid as well. Embiid was good today.
So
we talked about his last game being his last game, but today was his best ever game, like, because he basically plays the way he plays, like in Sixers, like in his prime. The whole going out, spacing the floor, the jumpers, the rebounds. Today he was even playing defensive. He was making blocks. You were seeing a couple of blocks, a couple of deflections. You were seeing him like fired up when he makes a deflection, a steal. When the ball goes out, like when it's because of him at defensive play, you saw him fired up. Like today, it was the really Embiid, and that's the Embiid want to see. Shushing the French crowd when they want to
boo him every time.
Choosing US over France, shushing them and putting it in his actions. Because the first and second games it was really about maybe the crowd is getting to his brain, to his head. But today he really removed the block from the noise, and today it was like his best game. And we give props to him. What do you have to say about it?
Just real quick before I even get into the Embiid, could you check your YouTube stream? It's a little bit off. You can just rejoin again. But I don't know what to say about Embiid because at the beginning he was choosing when to attack, when to be aggressive, right? When to screen, when to do whatever he did, right? But then in the third, I think fourth quarter, when Jokic I think picked up his fourth foul, Embiid was like, "No, it's me. It's my time. I gotta get him out," right? And it forced the Serbian team to sub out a couple guys, right, to kind of cover Embiid going at Jokic every time, right? And he absolutely demolished them in the fourth quarter, although he had like monster dunks and good shots in the first and the second and the third. In the fourth, I really liked his mentality of going at Jokic every time because Joker had less, he had fouls and he could foul out. So he had to play a little bit with some brain not to foul out, right? So Embiid was absolutely dominant, yeah, and rightfully so. It was his game, and he did his dance in abundance after the game to the French fans, and boo boo. I don't know how to do the dance, but whatever. But let's talk about Steph Curry, Malcolm. Yes, we've touched about him, right? But that was absolutely insane. Yeah? 36 point, right? 12 of 19 field goal. I don't even know what to say, right? 9 of 14 bro, I don't know. What would Stephen A. Smith use as a word? Something like, I don't know. But Steph Curry was brilliant, and the USA doesn't move on to the finals without his performance today. And regardless of what you say, he played 20% for the rest of the tournament. It don't matter no more, man. He came in when they needed him, right? So, are you able to win with the YouTube, or it's completely off?
It has failed to connect. I don't know why, but it has failed to connect.
Yeah, keep trying. But in the last live we did on Instagram, we talked about Jason Tatum being the possible DNP guy in this game, right? Just like we saw it in their first Serbian game they played at first, right? And rightfully it came true. Steve Kerr benched him again for the rest of the game. Didn't play him a single minute. So is Tyrese Haliburton. Although Tyrese has already accepted his fate, But let's talk about the DNP on Jason Tatum, right? He wasn't really engaged. I wouldn't, maybe not happy, but do you still agree with Steve Kerr repeating this action? Or do you think tomorrow the media will be on his neck?
The thing of benching him, I don't agree. But the thing of playing more than 10 minutes this game, maybe I agree. I think if he plays under 10 minutes, I'm okay with it. He doesn't have to play 20 because this game is not suited for him, and let's face it. But benching him, that one I don't agree with. But more than, because this game was a non-Jason Tatum game, and especially this game because the second half, I mean, especially the fourth quarter, you saw Steve Kerr say, "Screw all the noise outside. I'm playing my big stars. I'm playing the people." I mean, the fourth quarter, LeBron played like the most minutes he can.
Yeah.
Embiid, all the people were playing so well. You could even see these Bama Adebayo guys who are just coming in as role players. They were like, nah, bro, chill there, chill. Then when he came in, like it's a free throw and they want to like get a rebound, a free throw, and then when the free throw is over, they bring them back in out. But you saw that he said, but today it was more of like, nah, I agree with I agree with him, especially not playing the fourth quarter, or third quarter and fourth quarter because this game suited the players like the LeBrons, that have been in the team and their experience, not just because of how good he is, but also. But the thing about the game one of when you're about 26 points and you have like 5 minutes left and you're about 26, that one is absolutely disgraceful. But today, I will agree with him not playing at least 5 minutes, but not 0 points. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he playing 0 points was wrong, but I understand the viewpoints of how like the matchups work better and know how the things were going to work. And when I saw the fourth quarter and how tight it was, he was never going to go with Tatum. He had his chance around the second quarter when it was a bit close to Serbia, when it was like a 5-point game. That's when he could have brought him in for those remaining minutes. But when I see him bring in the Anthony Edwards, I was like, he's not going to play again. That's when I accepted, And I was like, okay, and this is okay because of how it matches up, probably. But it doesn't explain what happened in the game one. Yeah.
I mean, really, it's really hard to choose.
It's hard, yeah.
It's really hard to choose on who is really gonna be there to say, yeah, this could have been working better. But really, if you think about it, the team that finished for Team USA, right? Their chemistry, their IQ, their just level of play is incredible that I don't think it was even possible for Steve Kerr to break it up, right? So I understand completely the whole thing behind benching JT, right? And it's tough, right? His pride and him being a champion and everything, it's tough, right? But you gotta take one for the team if you want to win. You gotta take one for the team sometimes, and he did. And I hope he is happy that they won and they're going to the finals. And I think he is going to play more.
He's definitely going to play the final.
Yeah, he'll probably play more regardless of what happens, because I think it will be his game given how many forwards France has.
I think all of them will play, all the 12 of them.
Anyways, man, look, it was just absolutely incredible to see this game. I still say, USA, yeah, watch out. Today you almost won.
Yes. I feel like it was a good thing that they had a game like today, because going into the final without a game like this, man, come on, it should feel like almost boring. But now that they know that it's not gonna be easy, France is not gonna bow down like how the Brazils, Puerto Rico are bowing down, South Sudan. I feel like they needed this adversity, this type of win, in order to know how to get the things done, because they were really giving us a good scare. That quarter, fourth quarter, like down, boom, and like the Serbians were just shooting lights out. So I feel like they needed this game, and Curry. I mean, let's talk about Curry as well. LeBron in his post-match conference interview, he was like, Curry was always gonna. We were just waiting for that game when the Curry was going to shoot, because he was shooting 4 points. He was only taking like three attempts a full game. But today it took almost 15. So we were just waiting for that game, and it looks like it was this game. And when you have people like Curry and Embiid and KD in your team, you're always going to have a chance of winning, even if you're down 30, because you're always going to have a chance. And you can see that leadership, that grit. It's not. I was thinking about some place. It's not just about a bucket or like a layup. It's 2 points. Sometimes it's more than 2 points. It's scoreboard where it's 2 points.
Yep.
But consider the team, the energy from the bench, the fans, the atmosphere. I feel like a dunk is worth more than 2 points. You get it, and once especially we see this with advance all the time. It's a 3-point chance, but it's more than that. You get it, and you could see that you could sense the comeback. And so I was telling my bro right here, I was telling him, you can sense the comeback, and like USA was absolutely, he played so well. Like the adversity they needed this adversity, because going to France, they knew it's not gonna be easy, because they also watched France last 5 minutes and they saw how France defended and played well. But I like the way they played the defense today properly, the way they switched, the way they made everything. That's why I said that the Jason Tatum today's sport quarter didn't really suit him as well, because he's sort of like, he holds the ball slowly, but when they hold out the ball, they swing it, they move around.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that play. Remember that play when KD got the ball at 3, he shot it, and then Jokic pushed AD fell on his leg, he called a foul and won, but they didn't move and won. They gave the ball back. LeBron was out, he gave it to Devin Booker, made 3. So 6 points in one play. 6 points. I think that was like the real conversion changer. And when the 6 points play, it was like a 6-point gap. I think that's when I knew that US is going to lock in, because that was the 6 points in one play. So that's when I knew that, okay, it's done, it's in the bag now. But they are really giving us a scare. But they played so well. I like the way they played today, and they deserve to be in the final. Absolutely.
I mean, the other thing I want to just mention right here is we talked about some players being the X factors, right? Many people were coming in with KD, and rightfully so. He has bailed them out when they need him the most. Maybe never needed him that much, unless, but his presence is always so important. But I want to recognize Devin Booker, right? He is been absolutely phenomenal. No, like top level play, defense, offense, shooting, cutting, right? Like, I almost feel like him playing on the Suns team, right, as the main guy, kind of takes away his best attributes. Of course, he has game to play like that, right? But I felt like he was so comfortable just doing the other little stuff here and there, right? But talk to me about how Devin Booker really has been some sort of on some extent, like an X factor for this team USA.
Yeah, I feel like Devin Booker, he has been better defensively than offensively in this US team.
And that's all they need.
Today, I think he had the best defensive game, especially, because usually it's sort of like an offensive piece. But today, he came out with his defense and showed the world that he can actually play defense. Because in Suns, it's really an offensive powerhouse, because it's KD, Booker, Bradley Beal. So they don't really have like these defenders. And so no one really thought Booker could defend like that. It's sort of like what Booker was doing against Timberwolves, how he was defending against the Wolves. How everyone was shocked that Booker can actually block and still. But I felt like Booker was actually very good defensively, and I thought he held them. The points he got, the layups he got, they kept them in the game. But I liked his defense more than his offense, especially because of the people he was guarding. Whenever they switched, whether they put Bogey on him, whether they put Abramovich on him, he kept on being locked in, and that's why he got a lot of minutes today, because Booker was so very solid defensively. So congrats to him and congrats to his team. And
also like just his ability to just put up and shoot a quick shot, right? He doesn't need the ball to like affect your offense in some ways, right? So he knows how to play with the big guns and just being in the corner or just cutting and everything, right? But man, I can't wait to look at the finals and really, before we get out of here, you talk to me about what you're expecting, right? You've seen the matchups of France, the guys they like to play, the guys that play better, their physicality most importantly. What do you think would be the advantage for Team USA versus France, and what do you think would be the advantage for France? Right, it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think first let me start with the advantage of France. I think the advantage of France is that they shoot good shots whenever they want them, and they know how to create clear cards, shot making points. US, they have good shooters, but they only have like Curry. Steph is like the only deep shooter, like really no one else like really shoots.
Maybe Booker.
Yeah, but even Booker is more of a mid-range, KD is more of a mid-range, so it's really about Steph. So if Steph doesn't have a good game, US has to rely on the paint and mid-range. But France, they know how to create the shots. They know how to recognize like the mismatches, with the 2v1s and the wide open people. And I think that's a really good advantage to them. And even their bench players, they have some big players who can actually come in. And these guys are talking about the names are forgotten right here. But these big guys, they're even making free throws. You can see them, the grit, the blocks they're making. When Banyama in the paint was always doing this thing, grabbing his offensive rebounds, coming up with a three when they really need it. A team goes, they have a momentum advantage, they make a three, he comes back, it's not makes the three for them to keep them in the game and cancel out the former points. So I think this will be a very good advantage for them, obviously adding on to the home court atmosphere advantage. Getting in the brain of Embiid, they'll try to do that a lot because Embiid is going to be a vital piece because France also is a big men as well. But the big men, they're not very many as the US big men, so they sort of like run around a lot and have many guards. So that's why I think even Tatum is going to play. All of them are going to play, maybe on a rotation basis. But if it comes down fourth quarter and it's tight, maybe I think Tatum will play, but this Harry Battles will sit out. Yeah, but I think France has that advantage over US, and US has advantages. Obviously, have the LeBron, Steph, and KD who are always going to be big time for them. But apart from that, they have everything. They have everything. I told you about the adversity, not just the points, not just the defense they have, but they stick together. Even when they're from different clubs, different teams, different coaches, they're not accustomed to. They know exactly what each other wants to do and how each other plays. Everyone has the only thing they're good at. Curry good at 3 points, LeBron good at drives, and they have Skady good at mid-range, and Pete good at mid-range as well.
Just dominating.
So, and AD is good at blocking as well. They're quite good at steals. Everyone knows how to recognize each other, so they don't really need to have played for 10, 20 years. But the 1 month they've had in the showcase games where they went 5-0 has really taught them how to be great. And I think this is, and obviously the depth in the team, the bench they have, you remove the whole starting five, you bring in the bench five, there's almost no difference, So they are going to give France I just hope it's a fun game, not like a blowout, because everything hyping about France looks like, to me, I feel like Germany would not be a strong opponent. To be fair, I know France played well today, but I feel like Germany would have matched up better, like in terms of the size and players they have, to US and make it a closer game. But France, I feel like US is going to win easily. But I just hope it's not as easy as I think people think it will be, because the fans will be on their back. So USA has to be the favorites by thousands, the favorites to win the game. But I hope France can say we're not going anywhere. We're going to stay there till the fourth quarter, without fans keeping us there. So I hope it's a close game,
I think you just touched such an important part of this whole thing, right? When you look down to what happened today, US versus Serbia, right? I didn't see disbelief on the USA team's face. I saw calmness. I saw some sort of delusional confidence when they were losing by as much points as 15. But they were like, chill and all right. I don't know. You guys don't have anything to lose, right? But I thought that sticking together and just keeping the composure was so important for Team USA, and will be important going forward, right? Coming back to the advantages and disadvantages for these two teams, right? So you talked about the fact that there will be some sort of gap between the bigs and just the guys who will be able to play down low. But I was watching France versus Canada, and I saw they have some sort of Nasrid and Draymond Green type of bigs. Not too big, right? But wide and strong. Can jump a little bit vertical. Yeah. So it will be interesting to see, how they match that up. Because I know Draymond Green, of course, is getting old and everything. But in his prime, there was nobody who was, I don't care how tall you are, he was going toe-to-toe with you, right? So I saw some sort of under-sized bigs on the French team, but it will be also an opportunity for us to see, will Rudy Gobert play, right? Because now you can't leave Wemby on an Embiid. You can't leave AD on Wemby because they were just going to push him to the basket all the time. So I'm actually looking for USA to kind of go at Wemby all the time, or I'm looking at France not playing Wemby for a long time. Yeah, just like they haven't played Rudy for a long time. So it will be so interesting to see how they move that around. But also at the same time, I'm looking at Wemby shooting many threes as he's never done before. Because if you watch Team USA, they weren't really playing up on bigs on pick and rolls today. So if you do a pick and roll between a big and Wemby as a point guard, it will be so interesting to see, will they stay in the drop, will they switch it depending on who is guarding who, and would we see Team USA players going at Wemby in the post to just kind of overpower him, how big they are and everything. But man, I promise you, it's gonna be a blast. Malcolm, would you mind telling us when do we have this game?
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a blast, and it's going to be a rematch of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which was played in 2021 because of COVID. France won the silver medal, US won the gold medal. It's going to be a rematch, so we shall see how it will figure out. I hope Rudy Gobert plays as well. But
They'll probably need him. They'll need him.
When USA wins the gold medal, because now that they have France, they absolutely no doubt they'll win. But you never know, things can happen. As you say, Steph Curry may have an off shooting night. You know, the ball gets bigger and the rim gets smaller. You feel like that. You feel like nothing is going down. So, foul troubles, there's always those possibilities. It's a one-off game. You go with overconfidence because you beat Serbia. You go with overconfidence. The other team is overconfident and complacent. Compromise your team, underestimate them. So anything can happen. But with this US team, that's the thing about them. That even though LeBron, KD, and Steph don't play well, they have other bench players. And even if the other bench players don't play well, LeBron will play well. Or KD, we saw how KD did in the first game. He came and shot the whole first half was perfect. There will always be one or two players in the USA who will have at least 10 points. So that's the good thing about them and the depth. And we shall see how the gold medal figures out at 3 p.m. NBC Eastern Time on Saturday. And we shall see USA versus France. And don't forget also, if you want to watch the bronze medal match, Germany, Serbia, it will be at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. And that's why you watch it from. But props to the US, good luck to them, and they deserve today. Both deserve to win their semi-finals, and we shall see them in the finals. For the US women, they will play the finals on Sunday. The US women are playing their semi-finals tomorrow. So if you want to catch them, win easily by 30 plus goals them tomorrow as well at 2 p.m. And then we'll see when we come back on Sunday to talk about how both US men and women have won their gold medals. So yeah, that's a wrap for me. If there's anything else,
no, it was incredible. It was incredible, man. Great to watch the Olympics, and then after the Olympics, we'll probably, get into the trades and everything that will happen, because it will be the perfect time to get into that. But great games, great entertainment from Paris. On veut remercier les Paris. Oh, Jesus, I'll probably say something wrong, but yeah, it was incredible. It is a wrap from this night today. USA versus France. Everybody tune in. We'll also be live after the game to just kind of talk about the gold medal. And thank you, everybody. Follow, like videos, and then subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube, to like on Instagram, to follow on Instagram, to share, to comment on all platforms and support us, and comment as well so we can get feedback. And goodbye from me. We love you. Bye.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you. Thank you. It has been incredible, our YouTube family. Although we had some difficulty with the setup, I think it will be figured out very soon, and we can definitely say something to you. But subscribe, hit that subscribe button. We will be bringing you more content from over here, live mostly, because that will give you time to watch live if you have somewhere to go and you don't have time to watch videos, but you can catch them live. And also the live will be available on YouTube, so everybody keep streaming, keep watching, keep supporting. And feedback, and then so that we know, how can we best, if it's changing the content and everything. But please, thank you everybody. It's a wrap.